Okay guys, I wanted to create a series of videos to go through what I believe are the best cars in Forza Horizon 4 based on about a year's worth of play. I play with a very good friend who's much better than me. I very rarely beat him, and he's very kindly shared lots of tuning tips and the best cars. He's actually part of I believe it's the highest ranking team in the world. I was told, but it's true or not. So they're really good players on there, and when you play with them, you see which cars come up a lot and which basically win most of the time. You tend to find the first few cars, or the top few, are always very similar cars, or one of a few. And this is basically the ones I've been using. And say, I'm not saying they're the best cars. You may find that some cars are better for you. But certainly if you were to get these cars, put the tunes on, which I'm going to show you, you'll be relatively competitive quite quickly. Some of the cars are cheap and some are a bit more expensive to get, but it's a quick way to become competitive. And you also find when you go back into the game against the bots and doing the seasonals, you'll just monster them. They're so much better, these tunes, than the stock cars. That when you're playing the seasonal stuff, it does make it easier, a lot easier. Right, so I'm going to start going off. This first video is going to be off-road. I'm going to start with the B class and then work my way up, which I'll do with all the videos. So on my colour codes, my purple ones are my off-road vehicles. It's quite important with the off-road stuff, if you want to be competitive online at least. You do need good ground clearance, heavy vehicle. Reason for that is when you're going over jumps, when you want to land straight, and when you're battling with people in across fields, you don't want to build one that's been pinged off to the side because you've got some little lightweight vehicle of some kind. And water and walls, the heavy vehicles, they just go through them like it's butter. I do see people using dirt vehicles quite regularly for off-road. And on the courses where there's less of the big jumps and less water, they do quite well. But overall, if you can learn to control and use some of these selections well, you'll do really well on off-road races. So the first choice for B class is the F-150 Raptor. It's the 2017 model. Just select that one. I'll show you which tune we've got on this one. To be honest with you, the off-road Raptors come up in all the classes really. They're a good vehicle. They have a really good top end. So and if you run rushes and races and stuff like that, because you've got a top end, if you know where you're going, you're not going to make a lot of mistakes, then you'll get there quickly. They have a high top speed. This particular tune that I'm using on here is called Season CC Dirt. It was created by Samir Ulsuta 777. Apologies for the pronunciation. And saying that's in B class, I found that to be a good all-round off-roader. It does well. Okay, so looking at A class. Again, looking at Fords again. Oop, get some favourites. Say A class. Ford Raptor again. So this time it's the 2019 model, the Ranger Raptor. I'll show you which tune I've got in this one. There are a few different options you can use in A class though, which I found to be quite effective. Again, the Ford Raptor's got a good top end speed. It's a good all-rounder. It is pretty tricky to control. It just takes some getting used to. But if you do get a handle on it, then you'll do well with this vehicle. So in A class, this is the CC Beast, and the creator is Striker Kev 117. This particular one. Also, it's a bit of a weird one. I'll show you this one. Not that I really recommend it. You can do well with it. There's a Warthog. There's no really point in showing the tune, I don't think, for this one, because all the tunes are pretty much the same. There's not many tune options for it, because it doesn't get much better than stock, to be honest. If you're new to it, it's a really good vehicle to choose, because it's probably the most stable vehicle. No one can budge out of the way. It goes through walls, goes through water, it doesn't stop for anything. The only real downside for it, so it goes around corners as well, but the only real downside is its top speed. I think it's 5.8, so it's not got a massive top speed, which isn't great. And also, if you're using it on narrow courses, it's huge. So you can struggle getting it across little jumps or around the train yard and stuff. It can be a little bit more tricky, but it's a good starter vehicle to learn the courses, certainly. And you'll not be winning races with it, but you'll be relatively competitive against people who can't control their vehicles. So it's a good one to have a play with, maybe, while you're getting used to the courses. And one of my, this is the EXRS Bowler 2012. A lot of people used to use this one, but they seem to have stopped using it now. Hang on, that's S1. Ignore that one. We'll come back to that one. So the other A-class is the Jaguar F-Pace. Now, I really like this one personally. It's a good all-rounder, so it's got a better top speed than the Warthog and stuff, but it doesn't have the ability going through water and walls quite as well as the Raptor. It is lighter, and you'll get pinged around a bit more. It does have a tendency on big jumps to land a bit squiffy and shoot off to one side or another, so you have to come off the gas for quite a bit and just let it settle for a second before you throttle off again. But I've had quite good success with it as a good all-rounder. And again, if you're relatively new to the game, it's a good one for control, for getting around the corners and staying within checkpoints and stuff. So from the A-Class, my two choices really are the Ranger Raptor 2019 and the 2017 F-Pace S. I'll just show you which tune I've got on this one. I've actually used the F-Pace in the snow quite a bit as well, with good success. So the tune on this one for A-Class, the one I'm using at least, is Perfect Off-Road, created by Ice Beetle 3. Okay, so next class we're looking at is the S1 class. There's a few options again. Unfortunately, as you've probably seen, Ford Ranger Raptor does well yet again. So we'll go to that one first. So the S1 Ranger Raptor, again it's a 2019 model. And the particular tune that I'm using with this one is S1 Grip /225 MPH. And that was created by SMR Bob 0. I'm sure you'll be able to find that one. Again, as I said before, it's got a good top end. It's relatively easy to control, or not, once you get used to it. And it's just competitive. It's a good car to use. Other option I use for S1, and my preferred option actually, is the Warthog. Let's just find that one. Not the Warthog, ignore me, sorry, not the Warthog. It is the Trailcat. Which is this one. So it's the 2016 Jeep Trailcat. Now, I think this is the best all-rounder in S1. It's got good acceleration, it's got good top end, not as good as the Raptor, but it's got a good top end. And I personally find it easier to handle than the Raptor, especially in the S1 class, because it's quick. The tune I'm using for this one, although a lot of the tunes do seem to be quite similar, the tune I'm using is called Forza, and it's by SREN, that's REN 14, the creator. That is my #1 preferred choice when it comes to S1 off-road. There's a couple of options I accidentally mentioned last time you could choose. First one is the Bowler, or the E-Bowler, by EXRS. Personally, I wouldn't use it anymore. I think it was quite popular a while ago, but the Raptors have come along since, and it doesn't handle well enough, and it doesn't have a good enough top end really. Though some people do still use it, I've not seen it win a race for some time now. But it's an option you could look at if you wanted to. And there's also the Chevy 2017 Colorado ZR2. It's similar to the Raptor again. I personally don't like the way it handles as well as the Raptor, but that's personal preference. You guys might like it, and I've had relatively reasonable success in it, but I don't think I've won a race in this one. I'll quickly show the tune I'm using. There's probably better ones out there. That's probably why I've not done very well with it. But just in case you did want to have a play with it. And the tune I've got for this one is OP AF Beast, and that's by Nathan ST. Like I say, I don't personally like it as much. If you're going for S1, just learn to use the Jeep Trailcat. It'll do you as well. It really will, and you'll be coming high in races quickly if you learn to handle it. I've got nothing tuned for S2 because unless they've changed it recently, I've not been on for a week or two. But unless they've changed it, they've not actually. They don't do off-road races in S2 class. So there's nothing to show you there. So I shall sign off and look at doing the next video. The next one will be the road vehicles. So if you want to like and subscribe, you're more than welcome to, and hopefully it'll ping up the video when I manage to do it and get it uploaded. And I'll share my road tunes for competitive cars, and we'll do the rest as well. See you soon. Take care.